Okay, so today I'm making a hot bag. All you need is some just material like this. It's just like $4 a meter. It's just organic cotton. And then what we do is you take it and you cut a 6-inch strip, and then you cut 2 of those, and then you sew them together on the edges, turn it inside out, and press. And then when we're done, we should have something that looks like this. And then we're going to make a cover for it. This is an old one, I'm just measuring, but there's a cover for it. So yeah, this is what we use to fill it with. It's just called hard wheat. Barley works as well, but this is the best. You can find it at a bulk food store. It's pretty inexpensive, and they make good Christmas gifts. So I measured out the hard wheat here, and it takes about a cup for every section. There is, let's see, 5 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're gonna need 5 cups of hard wheat, and then just pour it in the open end of the bag and then pin it off like this one. I have just divided this up into little sections. This is a 5-inch section here, so just pin it on your one side, and then you're gonna sew on the other. So I filled the 4 compartments here. I just got this last one to do. Before you fill it, make sure to turn the edges under and iron it, because it's gonna be a pain in the butt otherwise. Okay, so to make the top of the bag, get some flannel. This is just some penguins in the Arctic. And then cut out a strip 1 inch wider than your bag. So I made my bag 5 inches, so I cut this out at 6 inches. And then however long it is, plus a little bit, so you leave seam allowance. And then for the back of it, you're actually going to need 2 pieces, because you need to slip it in between something and make that about 1.5 inches longer than your other strip, because it needs to overlap a little. Okay, so now we've got our pieces. I've just laid them good sides together because that's the way we have to sew them. And then I've just overlapped the back pieces here. So that one just goes over top of that one, and it overlaps just a smidgen. Perfect. And then just go ahead and sew around. One thing I forgot to mention is when you're sewing this, give yourself a 1/4 inch seam allowance just all the way around, and then you're basically done. You just have to turn it inside out, press it, and stick the bag inside. Okay, so there we go. I've sewn all the way around the edges here, 1/4 inch seam allowance, and then just go ahead and clip the little corners right there, just on a diagonal with some scissors, turn it inside out, and press. Okay, so there's the front of it all sewn together, and the back of it with our little slip to get our hot bag in there. Okay, so yesterday was Christmas, today is Boxing Day. For Christmas yesterday, after we had our family dinner and stuff, I just came downstairs and I started to sew, so we're actually in my parents' sewing room, slash office. Anyways, I just want to share with you guys what I made. I made these really, really cute little oven mitts, and they're right here. They're super cute, they look like little cupcakes. So your hand just goes into the top part, and then if you bend it, you have some oven mitts. So I guess this is going to be my other little how-to tutorial on how to make some cupcake oven mitts for all of you guys that are interested. First thing you want to do is actually to make a template for your cupcakes. I don't have the exact measurements and stuff, so you're just going to have to fudge it and kind of trace your hand or something and get the right sizing. But basically what you do is you cut out 2 bottoms to the cupcakes like this. So this is going to be your base color, so this is going to be the part here. As you can see, it does go underneath, so there's the back of it there. So you're going to need to cut out 2 of those, just for 1 cupcake like oven mitt, and then cut out a top for it, this part here. Now this part is going to overlap here, and you can get some fun colors. I've already gone ahead and cut them out. There's a brown top that we can do for one, and then a purple with green polka dots for the other one. Now you're going to need 2 for 1 oven mitt, so there's 2 tops there for 1 oven mitt, and then there's 2 for the other oven mitt. The other thing you guys should know is that there's 2 types of insulation or batting that go into these oven mitts. There is a thermal batting, which looks like this. That's the front, so it's just kind of polyester, I guess. And then the other side is like your tin foil or your reflective, so it doesn't burn your fingers. The second type of batting is this guy here, and this is just like a cotton batting, So there's nothing fancy to it. And you're gonna need to cut out one of each of those for one oven mitt. So that's the top for one. So you need to cut one of the thermal and one of just the regular cotton batting. And the same thing for the bottom part. So here's the thermal for the bottom part. And the regular cotton batting for the bottom of that one. So let's get started. So now that you've cut all your batting pieces out, you're going to layer them this way. You're going to go thermal on the bottom, reflective side out. Then you're going to go your next layer of cotton batting. And then you're going to have your two pieces of fabric, and they're going to be right sides together. Now for those of you that don't sew, all right sides means good sides together, because when we turn it inside out, we're going to want the good sides on the outside. So good side on the inside, good side on the inside, bad side on the outside. So there you go. Now all we're going to do is just sew all the way around the edges here with like a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and just leave a gap at the bottom about that big. The bigger the gap you leave, the easier it is to turn them inside out, but the more hand stitching you have to do. So if you can, leave the smallest gap you can, and then you'll have less hand stitching to do. Okay, so there we go. I've just gone and sewn all the way around the edges. You can see it's kind of uneven in spots, but that's okay. You're just going to trim that up, and I did leave myself a little bit of a gap at the bottom to turn it inside out. Now when you're turning it inside out, split the two fabric layers and then start to push in the corners. So I don't know how I'm going to film this, but basically it starts to look like something like that. So you're going to have the two fabrics coming on the outside. Okay, so there's the oven mitt all turned inside out, and then just take the bottom of it and pin it together, and then just hand stitch it. And then that one's good to go. I'm just going to work on the top right now. I did pin it together because it does like to shift a little bit. Again, leave yourself a little gap. I would do it on this edge here because it's going to be easier to turn and hand sew. Okay, so I've gone and sewed this one all the way around. I've clipped it. It's just like a 1/4 inch, I don't know, seam allowance. And then again, leave yourself a little opening. You've sewn them all together, turned them inside out, done the little stitching on the end, iron them, and then draw these little lines. I don't know if you can see them, just barely. They're about 1/2 inch apart, and then just sew down those lines. Okay, so this is what it should look like once you've ran all your seams down the side. And then what I forgot to mention is just to do a quick little seam around the outside. You don't need to go all over the top because that part is going to be covered by our cupcake top. So after you've sewn all your lines on your cupcake, go ahead and sew just a skinny seam allowance on the top of this one, just on the bottom of it. You don't need to go all the way around. Then cut yourself a little piece of ribbon. You're going to fold that piece in half, and taking the bottom of your cupcake, you're going to place it at the top, like that. See if it'll stay by itself. Yeah. Stay. And then place the top of the cupcake on top of it, like that, and then sew around. But you're going to want to pin this, obviously, so it doesn't move. And then just start from where you left off and sew all the way around to there. And then when you're done, it should look something like that. Got a little thing at the top, looks like a little berry or a curlicue. And there's your oven mitt. Okay, so there they are, all done. Cute as a cupcake. Ta-da! So that is your easy how-to, even for novice sewers, to make oven mitt.